Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to this week's Unconventional Wisdom on Grief and Loss. My name is Delilah De La Rosa. I am the person receiving this unconventional wisdom on grief and loss. To my side here is Steven Morrison. He's the creator of Spiritual Workout and author of An Extra Year, Grief and Loss in the New Age. And of course, I left my copy of the book in the other room, and I'm not going to go to get it right now because
All
it's
right.
I have to go outside and come back in. And I think I should just leave it in this room. So that way I always have it, it's just that I like to have it with me in case I need to, refer to it. But that's the case here. How are you, Stephen?
I'm quite well, thanks for asking, and ready to do what you want to do. I think we're following up on our last. All right.
Yes, yes. Just to kind of let anyone who's new here know about this series. This is something that we started in response to my mother's passing back in November of 2024. She was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, stage 4, back in August of 2024. 2.5 months later, she passed away. And we started this in January of 2025. And just kind of documenting in real time the aftermath, what's been coming up, how I've been moving through this process using the spiritual workout concepts and practices that we display here, show here all the time. As I mentioned, Stephen is the creator of Spiritual Workout, and there's about 15 concepts that we work with, as well as tapping that we utilize, EFT tapping, and the great practice of intention setting. So what Stephen was talking about in terms of following up on the, intent, well, put it more in the middle because it cut off the intention. There we go. Intentions matter. That's one of the concepts that we work with here. And yes, well, what Stephen mentioned earlier was that we are following up from our last session 2 weeks ago, where we were going to tap on the beliefs that are creating this heavy-heartedness. This heavy-heartedness, especially as it relates to creating my life, co-creating my life. A lot of this stuff comes up when I am setting intentions. I mentioned to Stephen last week that I am still in a place where setting intentions is not so difficult for me in terms of actually coming up with the intention. They did get affected by everything that transpired, with my mom's, the whole experience with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was a little tougher last year. I saw, even with just setting intentions, like even
Are we talking about intentions that you have for your life as part of your regular practice, and or intentions that you set when we started this process?
No.
Specifically, more your general life.
Like there'll be some times where there's a little wobbliness with the intention that I set for this process, moving through this process of grief and loss.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that more of an energetic block with my life intentions, general life intentions. Okay. So I noticed that there was definitely it was more challenging last year, sometimes even going into this year, with just even setting the intentions, my general life intentions, not this thing. But even more so difficulty in trying to align embody, like what does it feel like to be experiencing that which you want, right?
Which is part of our practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like the feeling of it, like being present with it. Like I've felt that before. So I know the difference. And I could just see how that's become a lot harder for me. Ever since, this whole thing went down. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I was like an expert, a master in embodying and stuff, even, before everything went down with my mom. But I definitely was able to feel what it would be like if I'm experiencing that which I want now. And it seems to be producing, sad feelings when I tend to go there. It's like I have a physical sensation in my chest that makes me want to cry. It's like verklempt, a heaviness in the chest, so much so that it feels like I can't breathe fully, like I'm like, okay, it's like a dampening right there. When I dare to go into these intentions, so we talked about that last time, about doing a tapping session, off of the beliefs that I feel are coming up and creating this heaviness, this block.
And that comes from the general idea that we're not ever feeling anything that isn't rooted in a belief or a set of beliefs. So if we want to change the heaviness, if we want to not live in sadness forever, there's nothing wrong with heaviness or sadness. Delilah's just saying, hey, this has been going on for a while. I'm not getting out of it the way I normally could or would. And so that's where this idea comes from. It's let's find the whole family of beliefs that are at the core, the root of the experiences, and then we use tapping to dislodge and transmute and transform them. Sorry, not sorry.
Whenever I feel as if these sensations or these experiences kind of have a mind of their own, that's when I know there's something going on. I'm not, there's something going on there, because it feels like I have the intention of setting the intention, embodying the intention, and it seems like my mind's all there, but it feels like what I'm feeling in my body, in my system, like it has a mind of its own. Like it's just like, right? Like, no, we're not going to go there. And I'm just kind of like, okay. So this morning, knowing that we were going to be doing this, I wanted to kind of see, and it was a prime time, because I definitely woke up heavy-hearted, just, not feeling it. Right. So it's funny, I did this meditation where, well, one, I tap through that edginess. Like I'm just like, what, the general let it go. And that actually helps me bring down that edginess, right?
Good.
And then I went into this meditation that actually was a great meditation to really kind of see what beliefs may be coming up. This meditation was called Follow the Hummingbird. And the hummingbird is leading you to your future self, right? Or future self, right? Capital S. And, saying there was a prompt about the hummingbird leading you to that life, that version of you that is that has healed the unhealed. Okay.
Yes.
Basically, that doesn't have the issue or problem or blocks or whatever pain, whatever it is, that's bothering you or is presenting a block in your life.
Mm-hmm.
What is your life like without that in the picture,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's where I started feeling it again,
Well, that is the intention setting, starting at the end.
Yes.
And a little quick aside, in our practice, it's very obvious to all of us all the time that no sooner do we put our foot on the gas of expressing some intention, some desire, something we want to experience or do or be or have, then any thoughts and ideas that run counter to that will come screaming to the fore. And that's what Delilah's referring to here.
Yes. So, so it was a good exercise, a good meditation in my being able to see, like, okay, what is playing out here? And one of the things was this idea of like, it was a lot of beliefs about myself, non-serving beliefs about myself, the world, the universe, the divine. Not our first rodeo. This is something that has come up before, right? But this feels like acutely related to, I would say, my experience, my life experience through the 2020s. I started feeling a little bit of like the doubt and a little like, non-alignment back in 2018. But there was still like a lot of intention, a lot of like vision of I can still do things. I still have the power to create. And, even though it could have been wobbly here and there, it was, I still had that going in the midst of some of the muck, right?
Yeah.
But then once 2020 hit, pandemic, and I guess there were a series of losses, physical losses since 2020, family, friends, and stuff. Obviously, on a macro level, a lot of different changes and a lot of stuff going on where I was just like, oh my God, like this feels like something that I want to escape. This is feeling, I feel like it was, something started chipping away at me and my heart and my courage, soul, like passion. Something started like chipping away at that, where I started rendering myself as like powerless. Right. And it feels like, well, I can acknowledge that when my mom was sick, I totally rose to the occasion. Right. I basically, manifested that idea that we like to say in our intentions. I'll know what to do when it's time to do it. And that's what manifested. And I do still feel that the way that I'm navigating this experience is good, empowering for me. And yet I can't deny that the differences in self-belief, in really believing that life could be better than I've ever imagined. right? Um, like it feels really internalized right now. And I don't know if it's because I do feel like there's been a little woundedness, a little chipping away. That's the feeling I get, right? Like it's like a chipping away, a little bit of like abandoning myself
Mm-hmm.
too. Um and I guess abandoning myself in the sense that I was believing these myths about myself that I don't have power. I
Right.
don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there was a bit of that and it led me to making choices that I'm not proud of, I guess. You know, and it's like kind of had me get to this point where I'm like not feel I'm this is a belief. This is one of the beliefs. I'm weak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there I feel like there's like a kernel of truth there. Not I'm sorry, not truth, but like I don't like to admit that that's how I'm feeling,
Yeah.
but I feel like today I was like, I think I'm believing that I'm weak.
Let's just stop there for a moment because this is good for everybody. That when we go mining for the beliefs that we have that do not comport with, do not align with our desires. I want to be a zillionaire and I believe money's the root of all evil, right? That
Mhm.
belief doesn't quite comport with the desire to be a zillionaire. So either I stay stuck forever. I want it, I don't, I think it's evil. I want it, I think it's evil. And a year goes by, a decade goes by, a lifetime goes by, right? And people stay in that space. Two other options: stay aligned with the desire and transmute, transform the belief from it's all evil into something that comports, or give up the desire.
Right. Okay.
Two choices,
Mhm.
really.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
if we're saying, well, I don't really want to give up the desire, I see some of these beliefs I have. I don't want to have them. I don't even fully believe them. And I feel a little funny even admitting that I have this belief in my system because a big part of me doesn't quite align with it. And yet
Right.
part of me does. So I just want to
Okay.
normalize
Yes.
that part of the experience. When
Okay.
we are always looking, how many times, Delilah's heard more than any human on the planet. All right, spiritual work at her. I think the next best move would be to really get that dump list of beliefs down, right? And then we say it's part of the process to look at that list and be like, ugh. I mean, you might even feel a little physical reaction depending
Oh,
on
I started crying.
what's on the,
I
yeah,
started crying,
exactly.
so I knew that I was on the right
So,
track, you know what I
yes. Well,
mean?
yes, because the idea is step
As soon
one,
as
just
I felt everything, that heaviness, that like, ugh,
yeah,
as soon I was like, oh, okay, I think this is a belief that's at work.
exactly. So it's a belief that's at work, and the next step is to ultimately transmute, transform it so it doesn't exist anymore, or at least it doesn't exist with any charge, any kind of energy that's going to stop us from doing. And it's more like, oh yeah, I used to believe that. I don't believe that anymore. Right? That's really what we're going for. But this process, I always have that image of, being over here, then there's a stream, it's 3 or 4 feet, and it's mucky. There's been a big storm, and there's all stuff floating down. And then the green pasture on the other side of it. And it's beautiful and gorgeous, and that's where we're going. And we just have to walk through. It's just, it's not going to take forever. It's going to be kind of yucky when we're in it, but then we're out of it for good and it's done and we leave it behind. So I just want to normalize the icky feelings that come and remind that that's just part of the process and we continue to keep going.
Yes.
And
So,
this is how we do it. So what are all the beliefs?
mhm.
Tapping is not the only way to shift energy, but it's the way we do it. And we like that tool. I love that tool. And that's why we're here tonight.
So yes, the weak thing came up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like and when I say weak, it feels it's like it's not like this week, like, oh, this weak ass bitch. Like it's more of like like a not having enough energy, not have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, the stamina, like,
So I'm low energy. Would that be a way to say it? Or I
it
have
feels more
low
like
energy?
weak. It
Okay.
feels more like weak because that like encompasses not just low energy,
Yeah,
but also other things.
that's fine. Look,
Yeah.
there's never right or wrong. We fish around for the right language that resonates with the person whose belief it is. Delilah knows exactly what she means when she says
Yeah.
weak, and that's all that matters.
And
And
it prompted the tears. Like it
yeah,
made me, it gave the exact feeling that I've been dealing with.
there you go.
So that's why I was like, okay, I think this is something that I'm
That's one of them.
working with,
So do
right?
you have others on this list?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A whole shitload came out. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
So the week, that whole thing of life not being better than my imagination. It just feels like life can't be better than what I've ever imagined. Um, it's just feeling like I just feel very disappointed in this reality. Like
So are you
I'm
saying,
having a hard time feeling uh like when I try to align with that line in my life intention, my life is better than what I could ever imagined. My life is better than I've ever imagined.
mhm.
Um, Immediately the heaviness comes in because I think about my real world engagement, right? And how non unimpressed I am. I feel like I'm missing arousal. I feel kind of like I feel like I'm settling for this reality. That's what it feels like. And that also made me want to cry. So that's at work too. It just feels like I think it kind of touches that whole like, is it really possible? Right. Because it just feels like when I do go out in the world, like I'm just like, this is not sexy.
So what I want isn't possible. What I want might not be possible.
Yes. Might not be possible. Um, the other thing is that I don't fully feel like I can count on myself. And interestingly enough, in our spiritual workout drop-in on Monday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific,
Thank you.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Every week.
It's every week, weekly drop in, any issue, anything, work it out, spiritual workout style. I dropped in this past Monday and I talked to Steven about not trying to come up with an intention that addresses my chronic pain issues.
Mhm.
And how I was stuck on the whole pain free. Like I just kept thinking pain free. I was like, what's the word that's because one of the things that we do in spiritual workout when we're setting intentions, we leave out the negative. So instead of being like, I have a body that's without pain, no, that's a no-no because it's just still putting the attention on the pain, right? So but I was like, I'm trying to find a word, a term to like really say that, right? And then you said to me that you probably will be better accessing that if you think about your life without the pain. What
Right.
is different in your life when you don't have this pain, which is very similar to the hummingbird meditation that I did. And this is really interesting. And this kind of connects to the whole like not trusting myself.
Mhm.
is because that was a great way to access that. It actually made me feel a little more inspired because I was like,
Good.
oh, I would be doing this, I would be doing that, da 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 da, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know how, but it led me to this idea that I've learned about years ago, that sometimes people hold on to pain or create pain because there's some upsides to it.
Resistance, yeah.
Right. There's some upsides to it. Like, some people, when they're sick, they feel like, oh, this is a way I can get love and affection. I can get nurturing, right? I can be seen and heard, right? And in my case, the download, the inspired thought came up that perhaps I'm holding or creating pain so that I have a justified excuse to not do the things that I don't really want to do. Right? This is like kind of similar to what one of my practitioners said about your yeses and your nos and your body telling you that, right? Because for the longest time, it's been very well practiced for me. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a pushover. I'm actually people know me for my boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, people know me for my boundaries. Of course, I'm also dealing with a lot of folks that don't have healthy boundaries. So they see me as like Miss Boundary. Like, my husband tells me, you're in your boundaries, And I'm like, you don't even know how much I've like really tried to be very flexible with be with you. You know what I'm saying? And your people, like, how much I've like, but to be perfectly honest here, and I'm not blaming my husband or, others, right? This is a me thing. If anything, the bugaboos are, the annoying, difficult people, the rascals are the ones that actually bring me face to face with this stuff. So I do feel like, so what I said to myself once I was like, wait, I think that I may be holding, at the very least, holding on to this pain, because everything that I said that I would do if I didn't have this, I was like, interesting how there may be some resistance, kind of like what we talk about here, that sometimes there's a resistance to the things that you actually really want because you've been so familiar with not living that, right? So it's like, no. So I was wondering, and it was making a lot of sense to me. It was like a light bulb went off, and it was like, oh, I may be holding on, at the very least, creating to pain, chronic pain, so that I could be with more ease, like, no, 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 right? And not think about it because I have a justified reason, right? And so I told myself on Monday night, I was like, Delilah, like, I was actually talking to myself out loud. And I was like, Delilah, you can count on yourself to say no to the things you don't want to do, yes to the things that you really want to do, and not create or hold on to chronic pain.
That's
right?
huge. And then what happened?
And that's when it was like, I realized that point of counting on myself to say the real yeses, the real nos, that's where the problem lied. That's why I brought up, I realized I'm believing that I'm not able to count on myself, right?
Does that relate to listening to inspiration?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
This is something we always want to be able to do. We need some quiet for it. We need some awareness. We need a lot of lifetime practice.
And frankly, the reason why that's been a bit wobbly over the years too, like practiced wobbliness with that, is because, again, I'm not Miss Pushover. I'm actually known to be Miss Boundaries, but like, I still have more boundaries, apparently, right? It's like, who cares? Like, that's just my rhythm, my sensibility. And I need to be okay with that. you know, even if it doesn't run in the same with the same rhythm as other people around me. It's okay. Like people gonna live, you know what I mean? And it's like if I abandoned or left behind or, you know, being like, oh, this is, you know, this person is not a good partner, friend, person in my life, I have to be fine with that too, right? So I feel like that part of counting on myself to for the real yeses, real nos, that's all part of like counting on myself. Another thing that's related to that that came up as well was and this is where the avoidance life, you know, dealing with like I don't want life's things happening. Yes, I have plenty of evidence that I can rise to the occasion when shit hits the fan. I've had plenty, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm also, you know, a woman that deals with bodily uh, inconveniences and discomfort on a monthly basis. Like, you know, I'm not like, you know, soft here kind of thing, right? Um, however, and look, you know, with my mother's passing, all the losses that I've experienced in this 20s, this decade, you know, so far, it's like I've seen myself rise to the occasion, right? Including my mom's passing away and like witnessing her, you know, what would be my worst nightmare, right? Like witnessing all of that in my face, and I'm still standing. And you would think that would give me like this evidence. It's like, oh yeah, I'm ready for anything kind of thing. And it hasn't. And I say this because a running script, and this is close to the whole I can't count on myself or knowing what to do when it's time to do it, is that I just feel like it's so it takes so much out of me to get back up. Like I feel like this experience after my mom passed away, her illness, her passing away, like I said, I'm very proud of how I've navigated this, you know, like everything that we've been doing, how I've been seeing it and everything. But the way that it's taken toll on my system, where I still feel like I'm recovering, like I'm, you know, recovering, like I feel a little battered. And um and it it makes me not want to go through this again. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's not really always up to me, but like it
Go
just
through this again, like
this type of hardship. It doesn't have to be this specific hardship, but like obviously loss, physical loss is one of them for me, you know. But I guess what I would call something that really pulls on my heartstrings, like on my heart, like a little bit of heartache. I don't want to say heartbreak,
and so because
but
why
heartache.
would and again it boils down to the reason to want to resist that is
I just feel like I'm not so the way down, and it just is taking forever, and every ounce of myself, like I just, you
and
know,
does that tie to the counting on yourself?
yeah,
Okay,
like a
yeah.
little bit of
I just wanted
that.
to be sure.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. I think it's like, you know, really like yeah, just feeling like my resilience, like I have it, I know, but it's just like not sexy. not not hard. Like I just, you know. And so that stuff I feel, right? Like that those beliefs that I just talked about, the weak, I can count. I guess the weak and can count on myself are a little connected there. Um, but the whole like life not really being better than what I can imagine. Is it possible?
When you
That
say better than you've imagined, do you mean like setting an intention, having an expectation that will
Yes.
manifest.
Oh my God. That's the word. Sorry. Yes. Low expectations. And when I think about, I'm like, low expectations that I'm having for this reality, and low expectations, and this I was going to say something else and I forgot my train of thought. But yes, low expectations was like the big thing that came up during this little, like, thank you for beliefs. I'm so glad I did that meditation, because it was like prime time, front and center. Okay, wonderful, But yeah, I was just like, oh, yes. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. Low expectations and settling. Like, I'm settling, or I'm needing to settle for this life. And then I get into, like, I was like, you're just being honest, girl. Padded room, being honest with what you're actually feeling, believing, da da da. And at the same time, what is like the double arrow, is I start feeling like, you ungrateful bitch. Like, you have, a husband who loves you, amazing family and friends, you're living on both coasts, like, you have such a, like, convenient, like, and you just, and I still feel like if I'm being very honest, right?
Yes.
If I'm being very honest, like, that's like the second, like the double arrow, right? Like, on top of it, it's just like,
Well,
damn.
it's a little off the subject, and I won't harp, but right before you said that, I was eyeing this one.
I know.
No matter what, I mean, look, we have to be present to what is. Wow, yeah, right now I'm frustrated. Things are not going the way I want. Da, da, da. I have a lot to be grateful for, and I know that. But right now, I'm not really feeling it. So all I'm doing is just reminding that at some point, finding some time for this helps everything. This is a frequency raiser, the expression of gratitude. So it's not, look, you can't force any of this, and yet you can push a little bit, even something like, so even though I'm not feeling it all, I do want to really just take a few moments to, consciously appreciate all that I do have in the midst of all that's not working for me today. You know what I mean? It's just as opposed to, oh, I'll do that some other day when I'm feeling way, 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 way better, because this is a way to feel better as well. That's all.
Right.
For now.
So I did go there, right? Because I did say, but I went there with judgment.
It's okay. And that's what I mean.
So look,
we are
because I was like, you ungrateful little bitch. Like, here you are, like, feeling really blah and like, like, not, dissatisfied.
Yeah.
And low vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's just like not, and yet I also was like, but girl, like, look at all the stuff that you have, like, that you're experiencing and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not fucking feeling it. Right. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Why we're here. All right. Yeah. I'm weak. Life can't be better than what it is right now. I'm settling. I have low expectations, or I'm entertaining low expectations. What I want might not be possible. I can't count on myself. What else do you have in there? Those are the ones I captured while we've been talking. Does that feel complete, or for now?
Yes, does. Okay. For now.
And if more come up, they will.
Yeah. But I'm so happy that you brought up the expectations, because I was like, yes, that's the word. When I was like going through this earlier today, I was like, I have like low expectations for this world. Like, and that's not making me feel great.
Is it more accurate to say my expectations are low or my expectations have become low?
I think they've become low.
Okay.
I would say that maybe starting 2022 is when they were starting to
Chip away.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So we came on tonight to follow up on last week, and I suggested that you write out, get in touch with, become conscious of the beliefs that are leading to this quasi-chronic, lately heavy-heartedness, and just overall, I can't seem to click in to where I'm going. So again, none of that feeling of heavy-heartedness, of sadness, and the other things that Delilah has been describing are detached from beliefs. So when we change the belief, we change the experience. Everybody knows that from every book that's in every bookstore for decades and centuries and probably beyond, right? So now we're just going to use the tool of tapping to soften and ultimately transmute and transform these beliefs from where they are today in terms of how charged Delilah feels when she holds them, thinks about them, just speaks them. We'll do some tapping around them, and then we'll see at the end of that. Are we about the same place? Are we more agitated for some reason somehow? That virtually never happens. Or are we feeling better? So let's rock and roll. So as we put these all together, weak, life can't be better, I'm settling, might not be possible to create and have and experience what I want. I can't count on myself. Can you lump these together and give a general intensity level on that 0 to 10 scale? Where
8.
10 is 8, okay. And for anybody playing along at home, that's just taking the temperature. We're not doing math or equations or anything like that. We're just saying, it's just the same as when you're in the hospital. What's your pain level? 0 to 10, right? It's just a temperature gauge. So we take note of that, and then we take note of it again when we're done and see where we are.
Great.
So typically, when I'm tapping with people, it's call and response. I've written down a lot of what Delilah said. I'm going to be playing it back. She will respond. We've done this a few times before, so sometimes I just sort of hand off and she'll take it and run with it. Sometimes I'll ask her to expound on something. Sometimes it'll be, that's not quite what I'm saying. I don't want to say those words. Absolutely spot on. We look for that. Sometimes I notice it, sometimes I don't. So if I'm saying something and she doesn't want to say it, she won't say it. And then we'll just kind of see where it takes us. Yeah. All right. So, and anybody who's playing along, listening along, you're always invited to just tap along. You
Yeah.
might just tap along, listening to what we're saying. You might kind of go into your own script, however it is, and you can't mess it up. So I'll just remind you, Delilah, uncrossing legs, feet, ankles. Yep. All right. Ready?
Let's go.
Good. So karate chop. Even though I have been feeling a lot of heavy-heartedness,
Even though I've been feeling a lot of heavy-heartedness
and sadness
sadness
for some time,
for some time,
that feels like it's beyond and different than and more than the grief and loss work I've been doing.
that feels a little different than
beyond
the
what
grief
and loss work
I've been doing.
Yeah.
Although there is a connection,
Yeah.
but yes.
Even though that, I love and accept myself completely.
Even though that, I love and accept myself completely.
Even though I've taken some time uh, to identify some beliefs I have
Even though I've taken some time to identify some beliefs I have
that seem to add up to heavy-heartedness and sadness,
that seem to add up to like heavy-heartedness and resignation,
mhm, and
resignation,
disempowerment,
disempowerment.
mhm, I'm choosing here now
I'm choosing here and now
to tap through a lot of these beliefs,
to tap through a lot of these beliefs,
or to use tapping to challenge a lot of these beliefs.
or use tapping to challenge a lot of these beliefs.
Even though I've struggled for some time now with heavy-heartedness,
Even though I've struggled for some time now with heavy-heartedness
with sadness,
and sadness,
with resignation,
with resignation,
disempowerment,
disempowerment,
I'm choose,
dissatisfaction,
mhm. I'm choosing here and now
choosing here and now
to challenge the beliefs that I have
to challenge the beliefs that I have
that seem to be contributing to or causing this recent chronic dynamic.
that has been recently contributing or what did you say?
Or causing,
Or causing this dynamic.
yeah, eyebrow. I took some time and I distilled some beliefs,
I took some time and I distilled some beliefs.
sides of the eyes. So right now I'm just going to list them
So right now I'm just going to list them
under the eyes just to make sure that my mind and body and spirit are all on the same page.
just to make sure that my mind, body, and spirit are all on the same page.
Good. Under the nose. So the beliefs that we'll be using as fodder in this session
The beliefs that we'll be using as fodder in this session
on the chin are associated with I'm
are
weak.
associated with I'm weak.
Mm-hmm. Collarbone with life can't be better than what I've imagined.
That life can't be better than what I've imagined.
Under the arm, that I'm settling or should settle for my current reality.
That I'm settling or should settle with this reality that's not doing much for me.
Right. But also this belief that what I want might not even be possible.
This belief that that scrumptious, spirited, magical life might not be possible.
Mm-hmm. And which leads to resignation and disempowerment.
Which leads to resignation, settling, disempowerment.
And also this belief that fundamentally,
and also this belief that fundamentally,
I just can't really count on myself.
I just can't really count on myself.
I can't count on myself to make the right decisions for myself.
Can't count on myself to make the right decisions for myself.
I can't quite feel the all the way yeses versus the all the way nos.
Can't quite feel, and most of the time have a hard time taking direction for my real yeses and nos. Mm-hmm. Like following through. Can't count on myself to follow through.
This idea, this belief that I can't count on myself to follow through.
This idea that I can't count on myself to follow through, or know what to do when it's time to do it. Mm-hmm. I guess it's follow through kind of
or thing. To really listen to inspiration.
Really listen to inspiration.
This idea that I just can't quite hear my inspiration.
This idea that I can't quite hear my inspiration, or that I can't I can't let it take the lead because of fearful beliefs.
Right. Which ties into, and we're just going to restate them, this idea that what I want might not be possible.
This idea that what I want might not be possible, which can encompass this idea that I'll be left behind or abandoned if I do follow my yeses or nos, which
All this
it's
fear.
part of that, right?
All this fear.
All this fear.
All this fear.
All this fear.
All this settling and resignation.
All this settling and resignation.
All of this meh.
All of this meh.
Under the nose. All of this sense of weakness.
All of this sense of weakness. Yeah.
The sense of weakness.
The sense of weakness.
The sense of disempowerment.
Sense of disempowerment.
It's like some version of me's been chipped away at.
Yeah, it's like some version of me has like been chipped away at. So much so that I question whether I ever really had it. I'm like, was that like performance? I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. It just seems, I'm like,
well, as we talk and tap about this, we can realize that the disempowerment, the heavy-heartedness, and let's just say prolonged heavy-heartedness, prolonged waves, periods of disempowerment,
prolonged waves, feelings of disempowerment,
prolonged suboptimal courage,
prolonged suboptimal courage,
prolonged suboptimal passion,
prolonged suboptimal passion,
sides of the eyes, are all evidence under the eyes of being out of alignment. Under the nose. That's the listening to inspiration. In other words, if one notices one feels disempowered,
one knows one is out of alignment. One knows one is out of alignment.
So the question, was I ever really those things?
The question is, was I ever really those things?
Is a resounding yes.
It's a resounding yes.
Okay. Because of how it felt when I was living in those spaces more of the time.
Because of how I felt when I was living in those spaces more of the time.
Yeah. None of us feels inspired.
None of us feels inspired.
None of us feels courageous.
None of us feels courageous.
None of us feels connected to our passion.
None of us feels connected to our passion.
When we're out of alignment. So, of course, not only have I been that. Under the arm, but that's who I really am. Which I know because of how it has felt when I'm in that space.
Which I know because of how I felt when I was in that space.
And in those spaces, in those feelings.
When I was in those spaces and feelings.
Mm-hmm. You want to say something?
Yeah, I had a thought about some of my real world dynamics that I feel like I'm settling for. I'm not impressed by. And it brought up that sensation of like, oh.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working on. It's bringing it
So
up.
even though I feel that sensation again,
Even though I'm feeling that sensation again,
I love and accept myself completely.
I love and accept myself completely.
Even though I'm feeling some of that sensation as it leaves and transmutes,
Even though I'm feeling that sensation as it leaves and transmutes, because it's pointing to the counting on myself.
right. I'm choosing here and now to realign with my knowing
I'm choosing here and now to realign with my knowing
that when everything is humming,
that when everything is humming,
I can absolutely count on myself.
that I can absolutely count on myself.
Even though I'm not feeling that all the way right now.
Even though I'm not feeling that way right now.
That when push comes to shove, I can count on myself.
That when push comes to shove, I can count on myself.
That I'll know what to do when it's time to do it.
I know what to do when it's time to do it. I know I will choose. I guess I don't know what the non-negative form. I will choose not to settle. I don't know.
I'm choosing here now
I'm choosing here and now
to continue to challenge this belief and experience.
to continue to challenge and
The belief.
the belief
Because of the resulting experience.
because of the resulting experience.
I do know what it's like to know what to do when it's time to do it.
I do know what it's like, what to do when it's time to do it.
What I need to do when it's time to do it. Right.
Do what I need to do.
When my mom went through what she went through.
Even when my mom went through what she went through.
Yeah, I was right there, and none of this was anything I ever imagined doing.
I was right there. None of it was anything that I ever imagined doing.
It was emotionally extremely heavy.
It was extremely heavy emotionally.
And I knew what to do every hour of every day during that process. On balance, I knew what to do when it was time.
On balance, I knew when it was to do when it was time to do it. For the most part, yes.
I know that I can function that way. I have functioned that way.
I have functioned that way. Okay.
And because I have functioned that way.
And because I have functioned that way.
And have shared it during this project.
Have shared it during this project.
I know that I'm capable.
I know I'm capable.
I know I'm capable of listening to my inspiration.
I know I'm capable of listening to my inspiration.
I haven't been feeling it lately.
I really have. It's been very wobbly lately.
Some examples are? For anyone who's listening, we're continuing to tap through all the points while we're talking. Go ahead, we're on the collarbone.
Some of the examples include there's so many. Okay, what is one example? One example is my social outings. Okay. Mm-hmm. Social outings, like feeling so confused a lot of the time. Like I feel like I'm ruminating, assessing, like getting it gets all convoluted about what are my real yeses and nos. I'm finding myself, I think, as a result, feeling even more sensitive to any requests from, by other people.
I'm just not trusting myself.
Yeah, I'm just not trusting myself.
Okay, I'm just not trusting myself.
I'm not trusting myself. I feel like a lot of it is giving into fear of like losing relationships.
This idea that I'll lose relationships.
I'll lose relationships. I'll be
If
left
I say
behind.
no,
Everybody's moving on and I'm left behind and I'm not moving fast enough. Um, you know, yeah. Or like, you know, like, should I be, this is where, okay, it gets convoluted. Should I be making the most with what I have in front of me, with what is, as opposed to feeling like, oh, there's something better. And, you know, but like, am I playing myself? Am I looking at this correctly? You know, like I'm not being grateful, right? Even though I'm like, this is not doing it for me though.
yeah,
So I get confused a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. I'm weak.
I'm weak.
I'm weak.
I'm weak. You know.
If not, what?
I don't like that feeling. I don't like that belief.
Doesn't resonate.
Mm-mm.
You're not buying it?
I am buying it a little bit and it's making me feel sad. There's a part of me that like believes it, and on a grander, more grand part of me that's like, no, girl.
So the part of me that says no, girl, also says
Everything is possible, you know. You co-create your life. Like everything that you feel is getting in the way is just like stories you're telling yourself, you know, or you're bringing the past into the present, you know. Yeah.
So maybe everything is possible.
So maybe everything is possible.
It's the law of attraction that says everything is possible.
It's the law of attraction that says everything is possible.
It's the law of, I'm going to mess this up, energy, mass, and something else. It's another physical law.
Another physical law.
Mass and conservation, something like that.
Mass and conservation, something like that.
Which is the law that says all the energy on planet Earth is already here.
Which says all the energy on planet Earth is already here.
Energy does not get created or destroyed in our little world here.
Energy does not get created or destroyed in our little world here.
Under the nose, it simply changes form.
It simply changes form.
So the belief, the form of the belief, I'm weak.
The form of the belief that I'm weak.
Collarbone can't be smashed.
Can't be smashed.
It just transmutes and transforms.
It just transmutes and transforms.
Into essentially its opposite.
Into essentially its opposite.
So that's how so the reason that everything is possible.
So the reason that everything is possible.
The reason that the teaching is asked and it is given.
The reason that the teaching is asked and it is given.
It is given under the nose, under the eyes, is because that energy is already here.
It's because that energy is already
under the nose. But we're not manifesting instantly on planet Earth right now.
We're not manifesting instantly on planet Earth right now.
For almost all of us all the time, there's sort of a lag between expressing the desire.
For all of us, most of the time, it's always a lag between that which we desire.
Expressing the desire and the desire showing up. So when we stay focused on the desire/intention,
when we stay focused on the desire/intention,
then some of the energy that's already here doing something else,
and some of the energy that's already here doing something else,
has to conform and manifest in our lives.
Has to conform and manifest in our lives.
That's the law part.
That's the law part.
Then we have our steps to do.
Then we have our steps to do,
which is getting super clear about what we want.
which is getting super clear about what we want,
Under the nose, making sure our beliefs align with what we want.
making sure our beliefs align with what we want. Yeah.
And taking time to cultivate the intention, to really embody it.
Taking time to cultivate our intention, really embody it.
Collarbone, letting go of how and when any of it happens.
Letting go of how and when any of it happens.
And simply staying aligned with it.
And simply staying aligned with it.
That is what tells us that everything is possible.
That is what tells us that everything is possible.
So maybe I'm starting to believe that everything is possible.
So maybe I'm starting to believe that everything is possible.
Sides of the eyes. It's just a physical law.
It's just a physical law.
Under the eyes. This idea that life can't be any better than what it is.
This idea that life can't be any better than what it is.
Mm-hmm. Feels to me right now like.
Feels to me right now a lot less than what I was feeling earlier today. A little more neutral. Like it's been a little more neutralized.
Mm-hmm. This idea of resignation, settling for what is right now.
This idea of resignation, settling for what it is right now. Ooh, okay. That brought up something.
Mm-hmm.
A physical heaviness.
Okay. Even though I'm still thinking somewhat.
Even though I'm still thinking somewhat.
In terms of resignation and settling.
In terms of resignation and settling.
I love and accept myself completely.
I love and accept myself completely. I think I feel shame over that. So are there beliefs under the shame?
No, the shame is the belief.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now I feel shame about believing what I've been believing. Is that what you're saying?
I feel shame over this. Settling and resigning.
And by shame, I mean I am what?
I guess maybe the little bit of weak.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's clear that all of these beliefs stick to each other somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're family.
Yeah.
Brothers, sisters, and cousins.
I know that there's a lot to that settling because whenever I see it in other people, I get very charged about it.
Yeah. So even though the whole idea of settling is so discordant in my system.
It's so discordant in my system. Like really, like I get mad.
I love and accept myself completely.
I love and accept myself completely, man.
Even though I do not like possessing.
Even though I don't like possessing.
Any shred of a belief that I should settle in my life.
Any shred of a belief that I should settle.
I'm choosing here now.
I'm choosing here and now.
To continue to challenge this belief that I've carried for a very long time.
To continue to challenge this belief that I've carried for a very long time.
Even though it's shameful to me.
Even though it's shameful to me.
To believe.
To believe.
That I should ever settle for anything that doesn't satisfy me.
That I should settle for anything that doesn't satify me.
I love and accept myself completely.
Yeah, I love and accept myself completely.
Things have gotten so out of whack
Things have gotten so out of whack
that I've seriously entertained
that I've seriously entertained.
under the eyes the idea that I should just settle for things the way they are right now.
That I should just settle for the way things are right now. I need to work. I need to make the best out of it. I need to see it from a different point of view. I got to be more grateful.
Right.
But then we have to have an attitude of gratitude.
Well, yeah, so we're mixed up too many things here. Okay, so there's a little shame I have to even believing that I should settle.
Oh, yeah, there's some shame I have even believing that I should settle.
Which is evidence of how out of alignment it is for me.
Which is evidence of how out of alignment it is.
This idea that I should settle.
This idea that I should settle.
This idea that it's never going to be better than what it is.
This idea that it's never going to be better than what it is or better than I could have imagined.
Or what I want isn't possible.
That I want might not be possible.
Under the eyes. That I'm weak.
That I'm weak.
It's not going to be better than it is right now.
Not going to be better than what it is right now. I got to work it.
That I should settle.
That I should settle.
The idea that settling even came to me as an idea.
The idea that settling even came to me as an idea.
That I would even entertain the idea of settling.
Ooh, I just got something. I think I've been conflating acceptance with settling.
Okay. Let's take a deep breath and check in. Or two.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's actually really good.
All right. So conflating acceptance with settling.
Yeah.
Right, so acceptance is embedded in the concept that we call be present. Be present to what is. No judgment.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way of saying just acceptance. You don't have to like it. You just have to accept it. Another way to say that, you just have to, quote, not resist it. It is. It's already happened. It's here. Don't make it worse. Now, if what's here is other than or less than what's desired, then we go from that place of neutral acceptance. I don't like it, but I accept that that's where I am. Why? Because it's where I am. And to resist it just creates more pain.
Accepting what is while wanting something else.
Yes. So I accept what is. I accept that I'm in the job I'm in and I'm getting paid what I get paid. And I'm grateful to have it because I have a family, I have pretty good income from it, and I'm still choosing to get up every morning and go to it, right? So, and yet it doesn't satisfy all the way. There's so much more that I believe I could do professionally. There's probably more money that I could make. So I'm not going to resist the job I have. I'm going to actually be grateful for it for all the reasons that I get up in the morning and continue to choose to go there. And I am going to set a shiny, clear intention and spend every waking moment that I possibly can cultivating this intention so that I can transcend where I am and go from where I am to an even more desirable place.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your insight that perhaps you've been conflating those things.
Which is why I think that it kind of came, why I was like, you're being ungrateful. You're not, um, romanticizing your life as it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, right. None of us have to romanticize
right.
anything, especially if it's not something that we're feeling so good about. We just have to accept what is today. And in fact, the gratitude question is, what have I got here now today, in spite of all that I don't have, to be grateful for?
Mm-hmm.
And that energy infuses the intention for the new job, for the next thing, for the better thing, for the more. So it's a two-step.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is this clarifying it, or?
Yes. Yeah. I think I think I might have gotten a little tripped up with that
Yeah.
whole thing of like not feeling satisfied and,
Yeah.
So
we're just going to start on the eyebrow point and continue to talk and tap a little bit. I'm grateful to have stumbled upon this insight.
I'm grateful to have stumbled upon this insight.
Sides of the eyes. It could be that a whole bunch of what's underneath what I'm dealing with.
It could be that a whole bunch of what's underneath of what I'm dealing with.
Under the eyes is the conflation that I was just discussing.
Is the conflation that I was just discussing.
Under the nose. Conflating acceptance.
Conflating acceptance.
On the chin with having to settle.
With having to settle.
When in fact, it's a two-step process.
When in fact, it's a two-step process.
As we've just been discussing.
As we've just been discussing.
Step one, accept reality as it is.
Step one, accept reality as it is.
Eyebrow, no judgment, no resistance.
No judgment, no resistance.
Sides of the eye. Step two.
Step two.
Under the eyes, if what is other than what's desired.
If what is other than what's desired.
Under the nose, get super clear about what's desired.
Get super clear about what's desired.
Set shiny, clear intentions for what's desired.
Set shiny, clear intentions for what's desired.
Collarbone. Step one, accept it as it is.
Step one, accept it as it is.
Under the arm. Step two, cultivate intentions for what's desired.
Step two, cultivate intentions for what's desired.
Top of the head. And for me right now, what's desired.
And for me right now, what's desired.
Eyebrow, generally speaking.
Generally speaking.
Sides of the eyes is getting back to who I really am.
It's getting back to who I really am.
Getting back into that space where I'm connected with who I really am.
Getting back to that space where I'm connected to who I really am.
Under the nose, where I roll with the changes that come in the course of the day.
Where I roll with the changes that come across.
Where I can access my intuition readily.
Where I can access my intuition readily.
Collarbone, where I feel courageous.
Where I feel courageous.
Where I feel passion and enthusiasm.
Where I feel passion and enthusiasm. Where I follow through with my yeses and my nos. It's just like, nah, not really feeling it. And not fearing that I'm going to be abandoned, left behind, or whatever. That's introducing negative. I'm sorry. I was rolling with it.
All right. Back into that place where I feel like me.
Back into that place where I feel like me.
Back into that place where I intend very consciously for what I want to be and do and have and experience.
Back into that place where I'm consciously
intending on
who I want to be, do, and have in this experience.
Yeah. Where I feel strong.
Where I feel strong.
Where I feel
sturdy, connected. Yes.
I feel
Inspired.
vitality.
Inspired.
Inspired.
Vitality. Where it's, oh, okay.
I'm sorry I messed it up.
Where I'm feeling that inspiration, that vitality, that like deliciousness, that I know I've felt it before, where it's just like, oh, that's so scrumptious, this experience, like whether it's seeing something, hearing something, whatever it is, it's like just feeling that again.
Yeah. Everything is possible.
Everything is possible.
And even when I don't believe that everything is possible.
Even when I don't believe that everything is possible.
But I'm certainly being reminded tonight.
I'm certainly being reminded tonight.
On the arm. I have entertained settling.
I have entertained settling.
But I'm not here to settle.
But I'm not here to settle.
That's not the life for me.
That's not the life for me. It's not.
The life for me is?
The life for me is vibrant, passionate, inspired, inspirational,
intentional,
very intentional,
compassionate,
connected, driven.
It's okay that I have been out of alignment for a little while.
It's okay that I've been out of alignment for a little while.
Eyebrow. I can still live a full, happy life and afford some moments of being out of alignment.
That's another thing. I can still live a happy life and while settling or being out of alignment for a bit,
I can afford being out of alignment for a bit.
Be out of alignment. Yeah, that's come up before.
There's a lot that I intend to do in my life.
There's a lot that I intend to do with my life.
I can be, do, or have, and experience whatever I want.
I can be, do, and have, experience what I want.
Even when I feel like I can't.
Even when I feel like I can't.
I've carried around a lot of these beliefs we've been talking about.
I've carried around a lot of these beliefs that we've been talking about.
Starting to really soften them and transmute them tonight.
Starting to really soften them and transmute them tonight.
And just to wrap it all up, we'll bunch these beliefs together, the ones that we started with.
To wrap it all up, we'll just bunch all these beliefs together, the ones that we started with.
And we will ask our system to let them go.
We'll ask our system to let it go.
Eyes of the eyes, let them go.
Let them go. Let them go.
Under the eyes, let them go.
Let them go.
Collarbone, whatever they all are.
Whatever they all are.
Wherever they came from.
Wherever they came from.
However far back they go.
However far back they go.
Why ever I picked them up in the first place.
Wherever I picked them up in the first place.
It is good.
It is good.
It is time.
It is time.
It is safe to let them all go now.
It is safe to let them all go now.
Let them go now.
Let them go now.
Good. Deep breath and wrist. Peace.
Peace. All right. So, first reaction is that I do feel very tired. And this is very common for us to like yawn and stuff because it's a lot of energy work happening here. So I'm definitely feeling that. When I think about that situation that brought up a little bit of charge and pointed to the idea of counting on myself, not counting on myself to show up for myself, it doesn't feel as charged anymore. I don't even know if it feels charged. Um, um,
I'm weak.
a little more neutral, much more
Okay.
neutralized. I'm not having the I'm gauging this with the heaviness in the heart because it happens, right?
Yeah.
So like it's very clear, right? Which I
Mhm.
guess is a good thing because I
Mhm.
have my cues.
Yeah.
So I'm weak. No.
Life can't be better than it is.
Life can't be better than what it is. Little bit,
A little bit.
a little wobbly,
Okay.
a little bit of charge, but way less than before. I don't feel like I'm gonna cry.
All right. Settling, resignation.
A lot less. A lot less. Not bringing up any kind of charge like the one before.
What I want might not be possible.
What I want may not be possible. A little bit. Tiny.
Okay.
Much more neutralized.
Can't count on myself. Do we do that?
Mhm. No. Um, much more neutralized.
So before we kind of bunched them together, you were about an 8 out of 10 of intensity and alignment. What would you say now? Just
Mm, 5.
all right.
Some 5.
So can we just wrap up for like a minute or two?
Yeah.
Just want to. So it's nice to move some energy,
It's nice to move some energy.
but
It's nice to give this attention.
I'm not 100% free of the beliefs we started with
I'm not 100% free of the beliefs we started with.
under the eyes, but they don't resonate as strongly as they did when we
They
started.
really don't resonate as strongly as they did when we started.
Under the nose. So I'm just going to take a moment to appreciate the shift in energy.
I'm going to take a moment to appreciate the shift in energy,
And to thank my body for releasing what it has released so far.
to thank my body for releasing, transmuting what has
Yeah.
been released so far,
To encourage my system to continue to allow this energy to move out,
to
to
encourage my
transmute.
system to keep allowing for this energy to keep moving out, transmute.
Yep, under the arm. None of us are doomed to live out the belief systems that we have acquired.
None of us are doomed to live out the belief systems that we have acquired.
Mm-hmm. And I'm proving that right now.
And I'm proving that right now.
Thank you, body.
Thank you, body.
Nice deep breath. So the opportunity is to just keep going. When
Yeah.
we list out beliefs on what I always call a dump list, the idea is not to put the dump list, fold it up and carry it around for the rest of your life. The idea is to, at some point, see that they've all been crossed out.
Yeah.
And so tonight, some of these are like halfway crossed out.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, or some version of that, right? So all there's left to do is keep going until the charges are totally gone. To where you notice at one point, it happened a few different times, but I think one that I remember is throwing out in the course of the tapping to Delilah, "I'm weak." And remember, she was like, no, she didn't want to say it. Didn't resonate. She's like, yeah, I'm not weak, right? She wasn't all the way on the other side of it, but she was not, when we started, she's like, yeah, I'm weak. I feel that. I feel it. And then in the process of it, there was that moment where,
Mm-hmm.
wow, no, I'm not going to say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not quite
Mm-hmm.
true. It's not as true as it was 10 minutes ago.
Right.
And that's all we're talking about doing here. If we do some tapping and see what I would call a significant shift, going with a half a dozen beliefs that are heavy in and of themselves and reducing their intensity by a few pegs on that 0 to 10 scale is significant. And so the opportunity now is to just keep going, keep going, keep going until none of them resonate anymore.
I want to also add that while this tapping session, this particular session in Unconventional Wisdom on Grief and Loss, Spiritual Workout for Grief and Loss, that not only was it something that gives me a better understanding of myself and also helps me in addressing what's been coming up lately in terms of the heavy-heartedness, but I'm also, as we mentioned in our last session, feel like this is healing that family line.
Yes, it is.
Right? In terms
Yes.
like with the whole thing about listening to your yeses, listening to your nos, because I feel, again, my mom wasn't someone that was like a pushover. You know, she also had her boundaries and stuff. Like she expressed them. She wasn't known for like no boundaries or like pushover. However, there were certain characters, certain situations where she was very much went against herself, right? Didn't follow her inspiration, and for various reasons, right? But it feels very familiar to what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm also healing the line.
Well, you are. And I hesitate to say anything because it's not my area of expertise in terms of being able to articulate it and teach it. But it really ties into this idea that not only are we admonished to be present in our daily lives and practice presence, but that it's only that because of the way humanity is set up here on planet Earth, we experience past and future. We very much do. All of our intention setting is ostensibly to create something we want in the future because we don't have it now. But then it's like, well, all we ever have is now. Everything is happening now. And this is where it gets complicated, and it's a big, ginormous idea.
And I always get lost.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, don't come to me to learn this concept.
Like, but actually,
I certainly practice it because I intuitively believe it, and it makes sense on some level. That the reality, the way it's often described, is all the realities exist at the same time, right? So the reality where you are back in full alignment with yourself already exists. So are we attracting it to ourselves, or does it already exist and we're adjusting ourselves to it? Potato, patata, maybe not. Different ways to look at it. Different.
I'm not gonna analyze it.
But the idea, what it all means, is that whatever we do here affects the past and the future, because there really isn't the past and the future anyway.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
You know, I know that this is very much aligned with the whole turning physical loss into spiritual gain.
Yes.
This is exactly what we're doing here, because had it not been for this experience with my mother, right, her getting sick and then I had these like two very vivid dreams that were not like, they were a little bit like, whoa, this is like stuff that like came up while she was here in this terrain.
Yeah.
And representing issues, problems that we've had in our family line, particularly the women. And so it's not lost on me that this is essentially a manifestation of that whole turning physical loss into spiritual gain, because I feel like those two vivid dreams that I mentioned in our last session, really, like I said, made me understand my mom and myself a lot more, you know, like And it has me connecting, right? A lot more too. Like, oh, okay, what are your real yeses? What are your real nos? And then also seeing how that played out, my mom, other people in my family line, you know. So yeah, this is really impactful on so many levels, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah. You just sometimes, like we talked about earlier, sometimes it is in this process where you're kind of feeling like you're going through the mud,
Yep.
you know, because you're coming face
Keep
to face
going.
with some of the,
Keep
yeah,
going.
you got to keep going because, you know, that's why we're doing this, because that I'm not trying to get
Yeah.
stuck on that, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, it's part of that process, I think, when you're coming face to face with the things that have been weighing you down.
That's right.
Right. Well, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep
You're doing
going.
it.
I will. Would you recommend that this be like a tapping project for me?
I would, yes. First
Okay.
of all, most immediately tonight, drink some water. When
Yeah.
we do some tapping, it's like any other kind of body work. Energy is moving.
Yeah.
Water is a good
I was
conduit
like,
for that. Let it keep moving. Take note of how you're feeling an hour and a half from now, because tapping often has a cascading effect. In this
Mhm.
particular session with Delilah, oftentimes we'll do a session just on one belief. We gather together, 6 or 8, interconnected ones. And so there's a lot of material. And still, there was some, again, my judgment, significant softening and reduction. So yes, the idea is keep going. Now, another little rough guide on our scale of 0 to 10, and we did it here, is when it's 8, 9, 10, maybe even 7, the intensity is strong. So we're almost always addressing the intensity, the quote unquote negative side. We'll repeat the belief, I'm weak, I'm weak, I'm weak, just to get at it. And yet then we check in, or we can tell some energy has shifted. Then when we're down in that 5 range, we can do both. We can start, that was that last button at the end, was just some appreciation. We're not setting up the problem, starting on the karate chop. We're just in a place where we can tap in some of the positive.
Yeah.
Now, there might be also sometimes, as you know, Delilah, we tap for inquiry. I don't know what to do. I've got this choice or this choice or this one. I'm not quite sure. And we'll just tap and talk about it. It's like, well, if I do this choice, then this happens, and this, then that happens, and da da da. You can use the tapping along the way to both tap stuff out, quote unquote, and tap juicy goodness in when we notice it. So that's why we were able, even in this session with Delilah, to start doing that. At the end there, you saw she's like, oh, I'm dragging in the negatives, because I was attempting to stay on a positive note just to see if she could hold that. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It wasn't just a test in the moment. It was basically taking the temperature in the moment, to see. And that's just part of how we use tapping. But yes, so drink some water tonight. Notice how you're feeling, an hour and a half from now,
Mm-hmm.
and then see what else is coming up. Look at this list again. And I kind of like the idea of like, which one now of these is the most charged, and start there for the next tapping.
Life being better than I can ever imagine. Just like still the one that's
So start there.
problematic.
Yeah.
Or am I judging the belief?
Well, I was judging your progress tonight as
Oh,
significant.
okay. Is that, or is that an observation?
Well, it's both, but
Hmm.
it's subjective. Somebody else would be
Oh,
like 8 to a 5, it's nothing. Go to 0.
oh,
Right?
got
They
it.
wouldn't think it was significant.
Got it. Okay. So are all
Not
opinions
every judgment gets us into trouble.
right? Because I was gonna say, are like all opinions judgments?
Yeah. So if I call you beautiful,
That's a
you're
judgment.
beautiful. Still a
Right.
judgment.
Right. That's true. That's true. But like you
And
said, not all of them are
technically,
harmful kind of
yeah,
thing.
and technically it still separates me from you. I'm not you. I'm not being you. I'm
Right.
connected to
Like that
beautiful,
you're
which
seeing,
could apply to
you
you
are beautiful.
or
Right,
any other. Yeah.
right.
But we
Yeah,
digress. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah. So water, see where we are, a little later on, and then look at the beliefs again in the moment, whichever's the most charged, start with that one.
Yeah. This is gonna be great for my mornings or whenever I wake up because that's
Yeah.
mostly when I
When you
feel
feel
it. Yeah.
perfect, that's when you should. Yeah.
Yeah. That's mostly
Really
when
good.
I feel it. Um, so thank you so much, Stephen.
You're very
This
welcome.
was excellent. This, folks, is what EFT tapping spiritual workout style looks like. Um, yes. Should I say that? Spiritual workout style? I mean, it's
Yeah, absolutely. I
yeah,
mean, look, I don't own tapping. I don't put myself out
right.
there as a tapping practitioner. I learned it online for free like everybody else. I took to it like a fish to water, not like everybody else, but like some. And I just see how it turbocharges the mindset work that we're already doing. I see how effective it is at really discreating old embedded beliefs.
That one right here
Uh,
is my favorite. I do that just
mhm,
immediately if I need to like
yeah.
calm down.
Not to mention all manner of other applications for it that we
Yeah.
look at every Tuesday in our tapping clinic. It's such an important tool, and I just want,
Magnification, inquiry, which we talked
yeah,
about a bit here. We did a little bit of magnifying
a little bit,
at the end, like
snuck it in.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So yeah, there are so many applications for it. This is one. And even within it, we did a couple little different things. So, it's like anything. The way I look at tapping is, if I had 100 people here and I gave them each the exact same paintbrush and they all had paints in a canvas, they're all going to use the exact same tool and they're not going to use it the exact same way. And with tapping, it's essentially the same thing. There's some basics that all the artists will do. They'll dip their brush in some kind of paint, whether it's acrylic or oil or watercolor or whatever. They'll throw it on the thing and move it around, whatever they do. But they're all going to do a couple of things that are the same. And then it's a practice. How does the tool work with me? Delilah was just saying she really likes that point. I
Oh,
tap with people the very first time. Is there one point that resonated more? Yeah, I really like this one, or I really
oh,
like this one, or this
this
one
one.
really turned me on, or whatever it is.
All
Yeah.
all
These
day,
are,
every day, this one for
yeah,
me.
these are acupressure points. A lot of
Yeah.
people somebody will say to me, "Oh my God, I've been doing this my whole life. I had no idea I was," and they're organically doing it. So yeah, there's zillions of applications, and thank you, Delilah, for the opportunity because one thing that I see in the work I'm doing and having the clinic, people will be in spiritual workout for 2 years. And then they'll be at a tapping clinic and be like, oh my God, I never thought I could use tapping for that.
Right.
And they've been at it for a while. So I appreciate your willingness to share of your own open heart with what's truly going on with you and showing people how we can always lighten the load. The heavy
Yes.
heartedness does not have to be that heavy, especially when it's rooted in a set of beliefs that we've just been carrying around and many, they're not ours to begin with. We just sort of take them on much of the time, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so thank you.
You're very welcome. The recording will be up as soon as we end here. It's going to be right on the YouTube page. Um, I'm not exactly sure when the next time we'll meet. We put on these sessions, we do these sessions as needed.
Whenever she
Yeah,
calls.
whenever I go, whenever, so I said as needed. We started out doing it every week, but by session 20, it was like, okay, let's live a little, apply, align, come back, like that kind of thing. Live a little, get a little life in, apply, align, live a little, apply and align, regroup,
Yeah,
check in, check in. Um, and so as needed. So not sure exactly when we'll do our next one, but just know that I will be on this tapping project. Maybe I'll come back with an update.
Great. I would love that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye for now.